So the best crafting event in the game is coming back, and for those of you who don't know what it is, it's an event that lets you make 2 perfect pieces of gear where you can choose the set, you can choose which piece it's on, and you can choose the substat. But not only that, you can also choose what it upgrades into for a maximum of 3 in one substat. And it's not just one piece of gear, it's 2 pieces of gear. It's one left side piece and it's one right side piece. So basically, this is an opportunity to make the perfect piece of gear that would otherwise be impossible to get. Well, not impossible, but like extremely hard to get. And with that said, I do not recommend crafting common sets like speed or destruction set. Similarly, I would not recommend crafting bruiser gear because it's the most common gear type in the game. Like, the great thing about this event is that you can chase pieces of gear that would otherwise be impossible to get, so you don't want to waste it on something that's common. So yeah, with that said, we're left with pure DPS gear and pure tank gear. And this sword right here is a pretty good example of a pure DPS. But I would recommend having this on a helmet instead, because helmets are notoriously harder to get, because helmets roll more substats. So yeah, and of course we're not going to take the speed set. I would highly recommend crafting a set from a hunt that you don't want to farm, most notably something like Kaides. So I would recommend Torrent set or Pen set ideally. And then for the substat upgrades, it's pretty much whatever you're looking for. But I wouldn't recommend crit chance because it's pretty easy to overcap on crit chance. So yeah, and your final result will probably look like this or this. So yeah. And then for the right side pure DPS, of course it's gonna be either crit damage neck or attack percent ring, it just depends on what you need. And the substats are the same, but with flat attack instead. And your piece will likely end up looking like this. So now for tank gear. I honestly think tank gear is in super high demand right now with how tanky the meta is. So pieces that only have HP, defense, and speed are super valuable and super hard to get because you really need the specific stats. So if you want to make a tank piece, I would highly recommend crafting an HP set helmet with HP, defense, speed, and either flat defense or ER on the last roll. And for upgrades, it honestly depends what you want to put it on. For example, Laya would like 3 rolls of HP and 2 rolls into speed, or vice versa. But a unit like Emil Haste would like 3 HP and 2 defense. As for the right side, it can either be an HP main neck, or ring, or a speed main boot. If you're making a neck or a ring, you want to pump the defense and speed, but if you make a boot, you pump the HP and defense. Now, if you don't care about the meta at all, feel free to craft the perfect piece for your favorite character. As long as it's within reason. Like don't make like a flat defense shoe or something like that. That'd be a complete waste. But anyway, yeah, that's about it. But personally, don't copy me unless you know what you're doing. But personally, for me, I'm gonna make none of what I recommended except like a pure tank piece. But I plan to make 2 protection pieces, and I'm gonna make them like, you know, like triple HP and like 2 defense. I'm thinking of like a protection helmet with 3 rolls of HP, 2 rolls of defense, and then a protection boot with also 3 rolls of HP and 2 rolls of defense. Because again, this event is all about making gear that is very hard to chase. And personally, I spent like a year in Golem, and I walked away with barely any protection set gear. And as like a slow tanky player, I would really like high quality protection gear that I don't have. So yeah, me personally, I will be dedicating this event to make perfect protection set gear. And honestly, it's not a bad idea, because like if you think about it, right? You don't ever want to put protection set in like your rift or anything, because it's too hard for the gear to be good. And you don't want to touch Golem realistically. So yeah, I'll be using this event for a protection set, but maybe I might change my mind and make an HP set, but yeah. For me personally, I will be making protection set. So yeah, I hope it was helpful. Have a good day, whatever. I hope it was helpful. See you guys next time.